Before playing, it is important that you know some things. This is a Doki Doki Literature Club fan game that is not affiliated with Team Salvato, owner of Doki Doki. I do not own Doki Doki Literature Club or any IP related to it. This fan game is designed to be played only after the original game has been completed. If you have not played the original Doki Doki, you can download it at the address below. Or you can get it on Steam, actually. By clicking I agree, that you declare that you are aware this is a fan game and you should only play it after finishing the original game. Hello? What is up, my witches? It is Witch Angel Nakora, and welcome to Doki Doki Literature Club episode Natsuki. Stefano created this super amazing looking visual novel based around the adorable little Tsundere herself, Natsuki. Now, we all know that Yuri is one of the best girls in game. All four girls are best girls, but Natsuki deserved her own little tale. I mean, she is so sweet, and her backstory is like really sad from what I hear. I mean, I'm playing Doki Doki right now, but I've seen the ending through a bunch of other YouTubers, so I'm not really getting any, any quicker about this. So let's go ahead and start game. Everyone in life faces their own problems. It doesn't matter if they're big problems or not. If there are too much of them. We all have things we need to deal with. This is a part of our life. We don't live in a perfect world, and that's why everyone has to deal with something important. But only a few people actually end up managing to solve all their own problems. Sometimes you end up finding a solution for whatever you think you're dealing with, and then when you think everything's fine, the problem you had ends up coming back. Well, this happens to a few people. Other people may not even find a solution for their problems, even if they try their best. And I am one of those people. I've been trying to find a solution to all my problems since they started. It doesn't matter if I try too hard or not. I could never find a way to put a stop to everything that bothers me. At this point, it seems impossible. Everywhere I go, I have to deal with something that puts me down. Imagine dealing with your problems every day at home and at school without having time to be happy. Every time when I'm not being bothered by something, I waste my time trying to solve my problems, knowing that I can't do anything about them. Only after a long time, while I was trying to deal with the things that bothered me, I realized that not everyone manages to escape from their problems. I guess almost everyone knows that as well, and they keep trying to solve their problems. I still try to find a solution to everything, but even I know that. People can try, but that's about it. It was already night, and the clock in a certain house already marked that 10 minutes were left until 10 o'clock. The lights were already turned off, so probably everyone living there was already asleep. However, that wasn't the case. Almost every family in the neighborhood was sleeping at that moment except for one. The two people who lived in a small house were still awake. They had a reason for them to not being sleepy yet. And the reason wasn't good. Out of nowhere, someone opened a door to enter a bedroom which no one was in. As the door was opened quickly and with strength, it bumped hard into the wall. While a pink-haired girl burst into the bedroom crying with so much desperation. That girl was me. And I was running away from my father. As I tried to hide under a table that was in my bedroom, I covered up my face with my hands, afraid of what could happen. At the same time, I was trying to wipe my tears. The thing I most hated in my life was when my father started treating me badly. And right now he was doing this again. Most of the time he would leave me alone since he doesn't even care for me. But suddenly he would start to give me attention and would start to treat me badly. In reality, he spent most of his time in bars, drinking, and trying to forget about his life. I don't know much about him because he almost never talks with me, but from what I understand, something that happened with him in the past made him give up on living. However, he doesn't have the courage to do that, which lots of people do after giving up on life. He gets angry with this. He lives only with me, so he always discounts his anger out on me. I have never met my mother, and he also never told me about anything about her. I don't even know if she's still alive or not. And I'll probably never know, because my father would never tell. Living with him was terrible. He never cared about me, never got worried about me. I was completely ignored at home until he decided it was time to throw all his anger out on me. And I hated this. This was something I could never resolve. No matter how many times I tried. This is one of the various problems I had to deal with. While I was hiding under a table trying to contain my crying, my father arrived in my bedroom. I didn't move a single inch, as I was worried with what he could do to me. However, my efforts at not showing my hiding location were in vain, as my father managed to see me under the table. Even if it was night and the lights were out, I think everyone could see a pink-haired girl hiding under something. And suddenly, my dad began talking.
Natsuki, stop hiding under this table thinking I'm not going to see you. Listen to me.
But, Dad, I was just reading.
Shut your mouth and stop hiding under this table now! I'm not going to ignore what you were just doing a few minutes ago. You don't want me to do anything worse, right, Natsuki?
Without any choice, I had to stop hiding under the table when I got up. However, even doing this, I was still trembling in fear in front of my dad, while I tried to avoid looking at him. I wanted to stay away from him. I wanted him to leave me alone. And he knows that I was avoiding eye contact.
Oh my lord, what the heck are you doing now? Just look at me. How am I going to talk to you if you just keep looking straight to the ground?
He's screaming at me once again. He wouldn't stop until he wanted to get a rest. I'm gonna save this right here real quick, because this is already starting to hurt me, and like, ouch. I'm gonna look straight in the eyes for the first go. Even if I was too scared to do it, slowly I raised my head to look at my father's eyes. I could barely see him due to the tears that were still in my eyes. But from what I could notice, he was so angry that he was gritting his teeth. At the same time, he had his arms crossed as he looked at me, breathing heavily. I had a really bad feeling when I noticed these things, but as soon as I tried to say something, my father started talking once again.
You disappoint me, Natsuki. Most of the time I don't know how to consider you a daughter. You must ask, why? Well, because of things like this.
Suddenly, my father threw a manga on the ground. Immediately when I saw what it was, I grabbed it and checked every page to see if everything was fine. This manga was really special to me. It was called Parfait Girls, and it was one of the best mangas I had ever read. It was only a simple story about 4 girls having a cooking club, but even if it was simple, it made me smile at the times I most needed to relax. However, even if I liked mangas, my father hated them. think that these things are useless and only for kids. It sounds like my stepdad before he passed away. But he never did anything like this. Now that he finds out I was reading Parfait Girls, he's screaming at me for reading stupid things. Seeing my father scream at me for liking something that made me happy when I most needed it broke my heart in many pieces.
Are you really reading something dumb like this? This makes me ashamed to be from the same family as you. I want you to throw us a trash can tomorrow, Natsuki. If I see us Parfait Girls around my house one more time, I will need to give you a lesson.
After I heard my father's words, I knelt down, still holding Parfait Girls in my hands. I started to look at the manga with so much desperation. I didn't want to get rid of one of the only things that brought a smile to my face. This couldn't happen. Immediately, tears began falling from my eyes once again. They all landed in the Parfait Girls cover art. And meanwhile, my father just kept looking at me, disgusted. How could someone treat their daughter badly because of a manga? And why would my father start a discussion because I'm reading something that he doesn't like? He doesn't even care about me, so why would he care for what I'm doing? Maybe he drank too much and he's just making an excuse to throw all of his anger at me again, but still. I was just too tired to suffer in the hands of my father. It's horrible to arrive home and see that there wasn't anything to eat because your father only buys food for himself. It's horrible to arrive home and your father starts to scream at you for no reason at all. It was horrible to not have a father who loved you. My father was one of the many problems I had to deal with.
Now, do you understand what I said, Natsuki?
As my dad said this, he looked at me with an angry look. I won't throw away my...
You know the consequences, Natsuki. You don't throw away this piece of trash by tomorrow. You know what will happen. Now go to sleep and don't say anything else to me.
As my father stopped talking, he walked out of my room, closing the door with anger. He didn't wish me a good night or even look back at me. He just acted like I wasn't even there, even if we had a big discussion right now. Every time he got tired of discounting his anger at me, he started to ignore my existence once again. I only started some kind of punching bag for my father. It was truly something terrible. Imagine being treated as trash by the person who should love you. There wasn't anything you could do to fix this. Of course, I could tell about my father to the police or someone else I could get help, but what if he did something worse with me? Harry told me once that if I did something like this, things would be much worse to me. The only thing I didn't want to imagine is what he would do to me. This was the life I had at home, with my father. A life where I always had to be the one to suffer. After wiping the tears that were still falling down from my eyes, I put the Parfait Girls manga on a table near me. I was definitely not going to get rid of it, but I had to find a place to hide it from my father. And I had to think of a solution until tomorrow. If I didn't, things would not be good for me. While still thinking of all the possibilities, I lay down on my bed and started to look at the ceiling. I was feeling so sad. The thing I most wanted to do right now was to fix everything that was wrong in my life. But there's no way I could do this. I could try to do it, but that's about it. Unfortunately, this is the life that I, Natsuki, lived. A life full of impossible things to deal with. I know I'm not the only one passing through this right now. I know that there might be some people who are passing through worse things and they can't solve these things. But for one time in my life, I wanted to put a stop to something that always bothered me. It didn't need to be all my problems, but only one of them. This was my greatest wish. While thinking of all these things, I ended up falling asleep. I hope tomorrow is somehow a better day for me. My heart, just hearing all that it's shattering my heart into a million pieces. I'm not kidding, guys. It's just like my heart feels like someone has it in a vice and just shattered it. It's that sad. I'm not kidding. I mean, this here, the father should be locked up for what he's doing to Natsuki. He's abusive. He's keeping what keeps his daughter happy away from her. He's an alcoholic. He's just a terrible father. And she deserves better. I'm not kidding. She deserves better. I'm, if y'all are watching this, put in the comments below hashtag Natsuki deserved better, and she does. I mean, she's just a adorable little Tsundere sweetheart. By the way, the reason I'm switching voices between Natsuki is like my normal voice would be like Natsuki's inner thoughts, and the voice I do for Natsuki when I'm playing Doki Doki is her voice I give to her. Home is a place where you're supposed to relax, do the things you like, and other stuff. It is one of the only places in your life that you can truly feel safe. We don't call our homes as home sweet home for no reasons. Now imagine if your home wasn't a safe place anymore. Imagine if it became a place where you could not relax, do the things that you like, and instead you had to be treated badly almost every day. This is what home felt like for me. A place in which I could not feel safe anymore. The only place I truly felt safe was at school. There I knew that nothing bad like what happens at home would happen to me. But even at school I had to deal with even more negative situations for me. Everywhere I had to go, something negative would come together. Problems were a part of everyone's life. But sometimes they could get out of control, and when you notice it, it can already be too late to do something about them. That is true. It was already morning and a new day had begun. Today was Monday, so that means I had to go to school. I didn't care so much for school, but that didn't mean I should skip classes. They would be important for my future, after all. And even if I wanted to skip classes, school was the only place I felt truly safe. If I didn't go to school, my father would probably force me to stay at home so he could discount his anger at me at any time. Unfortunately, I had to do everything to be away from my dad as much as possible. As I opened my eyes, the first thing I saw was the sun's light entering my bedroom through the window. I had to cover my face with my hands because the big ray of light was hurting my eyes. Seeing the sun's light after I woke up always hurted my eyes a little bit. So I just kept the curtains closed before I slept. But yesterday, after everything that happened and I was going to sleep, I forgot to close the curtains. I fixed as I quickly stood up and got near the window, barely seeing it. Quickly I drew the curtains, pulling them together. Now sun's light wasn't entering the bedroom anymore. Of course, this made the room quite dark, so that's why I turned the lights on. The sun's light was too strong for my eyes, and that's why I avoided looking at it when I woke up. Well, now that I took care of this, I should get ready to go to school. Speaking of that, what time is it? I was so distracted with the light that I even forgot to see if I woke up late or not. Unfortunately, most of the time I get easily distracted, even with minor things. But this wasn't the time to even think about this. As I looked at the clock, I noticed that I woke up on the right time. Whew! If I was late to school, I don't know what I would do. Unfortunately, I had plenty of time to get ready to go to school. The first thing I should do was dress up in my school uniform. It's probably inside my closet, of course. After all, where would I put my clothes besides my closet? Dresser? As I got closer, I opened the closet and my school uniform wasn't there. It wasn't there inside my closet. Where did I put it? I should look for my school clothes as fast as possible. It must be around my bedroom, but where should I look? I would look near the door. Maybe my school uniform was near my bedroom's door. Sure, it wouldn't make sense if it was there since it's too far from the closet. Right now, making sense was the least important thing. With no time to waste, I walked in the direction of my bedroom's entrance. As I looked everywhere, I found out that my school clothes weren't there. To be fair, I was already kind of expecting this to happen. To expect my school uniform to be lying on the ground in a random place like near my door was kind of dumb. Well, at least there are other places for me to find my school clothes, right? Alright, let's check behind my closet. It sounded kind of crazy, but I decided to search my school uniform behind my closet. After all, if it wasn't inside the closet, which is the place where I always put my uniform, it was probably near it. With almost no strength at all, I pushed my closet for a few seconds. For these few seconds, I felt exhausted and could barely breathe. I was really weak and had a fragile body, because most of the time there wasn't any food for me to eat at home. My father only bought food for himself, and he would not leave me anything for me to eat. But anyway, as I took a look behind the closet, I noticed that my school uniform wasn't there. I wasted my time doing all of this. I pushed the closet back to where it was before, feeling exhausted and barely breathing like before. It was really painful using all my strength when I had almost none, but still. I couldn't waste my time. Still had to find my school uniform. Let's go under the bed. I should probably look under the bed. It was the most realistic option at that moment. With no time to lose, I slowly crouched down and saw what was under my bed. My school uniform! How did it end up here after all? Whatever, I shouldn't be asking things that are impossible to answer. It was kind of obvious that it could be under my bed, though. Sometimes the answer to what we are looking for is right under our noses, and we still can't find it. But anyway, I grabbed my school uniform and stood up. Quickly, I dressed to my school clothes. In fact, I was so fast that I managed to change myself in under 3 minutes. I'm a person that could get easily distracted, but it doesn't mean I couldn't do things quickly. The only thing I needed to have was focus. Focus is something that everyone, including me, can have if they want to. Other people pay attention to most things, while others don't. For example, I say I'm a very focused person, and I got distracted and lost my focus on going to school while bragging about this. Never mind. Anyway, as I was already dressed up, I grabbed my backpack, which was already on a desk near me. Now there wasn't anything else to do. I was ready to go to school. Unfortunately, as always, I would leave home without eating anything. Like I said before, my father never really bought food for me, and only for himself. Every morning I had to get money from his wallet to buy something to eat without him noticing. Of course, there were a few times there wasn't any money, and I would starve for the rest of the day. Sometimes I even passed out due to the fact that I barely even eat. Basically, I suffered from malnourishment. This is another problem that made my life a living hell. Malnutrition. I want to take a bit of a moment here and tell you all this. My mom died of malnutrition and sepsis because she wouldn't eat. So that's why you could tell there's a bit of sadness in my voice when I'm talking about this. And it hurts knowing that Natsuki is going through the same thing, the malnutrition. Her father is just terrible. If Natsuki was a real person, I would hold her and feed her, but only a little at a time so her body can get back up to, like, being able to eat larger meals. Because when your body goes through malnutrition like this, it goes into starvation mode and feeds off the fat of your body, and you get what's called refeeding syndrome. Your stomach will shrink in size, and that's why if you eat too fast during this issue, you'll throw up because your stomach doesn't have the right size to reintroduce all the nutrients into your system again, and you gotta do it over time so that your body will regenerate its energy supplies and all that. As I was ready to go, I walked in the direction of my bedroom's door. Before my hands touched the doorknob, I stopped walking as I remembered something important. It's something that needed to be taken care of as fast as possible. Slowly I turned my head around as my eyes looked to what was on the table. The manga, Parfait Girls. My favorite manga. And the same one that my father wanted me to get rid of. Everything that he said yesterday to me still echoed inside my head.
If I see those parfait girls around my house one more time, I will need to give you a lesson.
These words were haunting me, and I was trying my best to forget them. I couldn't simply ignore this unless I wanted to deal with my father later. So I needed to do something related to the Parfait Girls manga, and getting rid of it wasn't an option. Maybe I could hide it somewhere in a place where my father couldn't find. But where? Perhaps a random place at school? That doesn't seem like a bad idea. And it's not like I have any other options after all. If I hid the manga somewhere in the house, my father would definitely find it. I would do everything to keep Parfait Girls safe. It's one of the only things that keep me happy. That's it. I've made my decision. I walked in the direction of the table, grabbed the Parfait Girls manga, and put it inside my backpack. I would hide it somewhere at school. Now ready to go, I walked in the direction of the bedroom's door. After I opened the door, I left my bedroom and ended up in the living room. There on the table I could see a wallet. My father's wallet. He was still at home, probably sleeping. That's why I slowly opened the wallet and checked to see if there was any money in there. And there was enough money to buy something to eat at school and a few things to eat on the way home. So this is surely my day of luck. I got the money and ended up putting it in my pocket. After closing the wallet, I put it on the same spot that it was before. Afterwards, I grabbed my keys and opened the door to leave the house. As I left, closed the door and locked it using my keys. Then I headed to school to start my routine once again. I hope my day at school goes well. I do too, and that's where we're going to end off right here. I have no words right now because my heart feels like someone has taken it and just shattered it. Natsuki is such a sweet girl. I don't see why some people don't like her. All she is misunderstood. She's going through hell with her father, who's an alcoholic, abusive, terrible father that doesn't even consider Natsuki to be his daughter. You know, when he looks back later in life, when he's sick in a hospital and is like, I wish someone was here to like be with me, and he remembers that he has a daughter and she's not there to help comfort him, he's gonna feel like a major dick. He'll be like, I wish I didn't harm my daughter. I wish I didn't do this to her. I wish I didn't do that to her. Well, newsflash, buddy. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. You should have been a better father, and she would have treated you better, but you didn't. And y'all know me, I am an advocate for domestic abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse, because I've been through all of that in my life. And in the description below for this chapter, I will link you all to hotlines for suicide, for abuse, and let me tell you all this. If you're going through an abusive relationship right now with your father, a loved one, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a significant other, your partner, whatever, and it's getting to the point of being physical or verbally violent, call 911. Call the police. Get out of that relationship ASAP. Because if you don't, it could be too late. And I should know. But I'm going to get on out of here, guys. I need to sit and think for a while before I record the next episode. If you like this video, why don't you hit that like button with a bibbity bobbity boop. And hit the subscribe button and notification bell to find when I upload. I'm going to get on out of here, guys. Mwah! Stay magical, my friends, and please stay safe. I love all of you. Even if I haven't met you, you're all still special to me.